Hey everybody, welcome back to Conscientious Omnivore. My name is Pal. Back out here in the garden today. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about soil improvement today, and just give you guys a quick update here. Everything's growing nicely. The tomatoes are really starting to put out a lot of flowers. You can see most of them already have some small tomatoes growing on them and tons of little flowers, where there's going to be more growing. But really what I want to talk about today is the improving of the soil via the mulch here, and the permaculture principles and the back to Eden gardening that I'm always kind of going on and on about. So, you know, really just quickly, I guess I just want to say that the soil we have here is not ideal. I mean, I'm not like an expert gardener by any means, so take everything I say with a grain of salt and do your own research. But we have what I consider to be fairly sandy soil, as far as like in the limited gardening experience I have. I think it's maybe a little bit too sandy, so it's kind of hard to retain moisture in it. I'll overlay a video here where you guys can see a freshly dug out spot where I'm going to be expanding the house, and you can see just how sandy it is and just how dry it is. That was probably about 5 minutes after I dug it out, and you can just see it's like just porous, and that's good for for some things, so that it doesn't retain water and like drown out stuff. Like some plants really don't like having wet feet, so you need good drainage around them. And I think most plants benefit from having good drainage, but you also want it to have some kind of organic matter, and to be a little bit more kind of black and kind of like, I don't know, whatever you want, like organic matter in there than this. So I think this is a little bit of a poor soil that we have, and despite that, you can see that things are growing pretty well here, and I'm hoping that as the years progress here, we're gonna keep getting better and better. And the reason for that is that the mulch is breaking down, and what we are mimicking here with the back to Eden gardening with the heavy mulch is that just like in the woods, like you would have leaf fall from trees or bushes going down on the ground and then creating topsoil slowly but surely throughout the many decades and hundreds of years. I think they say it takes something like, I don't know, like 150 years to make an inch of topsoil or something like that. I forget the exact amounts, but if you look it up, I mean, it's quite scary. It takes a long time for any kind of soil to build up from that. But what you can do is mimic that same kind of kind of natural process by bringing in a lot of organic matter, like the compost, like leaves that you pick up from other people that are crazy enough to throw it away, and doing the human manure or the composting of your own kitchen scraps and wastes and things like that, and naturally also using anything that grows up out of the ground here that you would want to consider as waste, because let's say I mow this down, I can use the straw, I can use the weeds even, or like trees that I'm trimming. If I'm taking down some of the branches, I can mulch all that stuff and put it back on the ground here. And what you will see is over time this soil will keep getting better and better the more and more this compost and mulch and everything else that I'm going to put on here is going to be breaking down. A lot of that is from the organic matter that you're putting on there, but also some of it is from all the microorganisms and little things like worms and bugs and stuff that live in the soil underneath. Because what you're doing is you're creating a habitat for worms here, that they love this because it's going to always be nice and moist for them. It never gets dried out like the main soil we have here. And I can tell you now, like where I've been digging, I haven't seen a single worm. But here, if you pull back the mulch in any place, you'll see worms like all the time. They're just like ubiquitous throughout the whole area. Also, there's going to be beneficial bacteria and fungi and all sorts of other kinds of like helpful little microorganisms and bugs and stuff that are going to be living here, and that is also going to further help aerate and kind of like fertilize the soil underneath. So it's really a combination of all of the things, and you can actually very quickly build up very fertile soil, and you don't need to worry about removing the nutrients, as long as you're putting all this wonderful material back in and providing a good habitat for all these living creatures that are going to be underneath the compost here. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a few words about that and really kind of show you the drastic difference between the soil conditions, where it's just basically grass and I'm just digging it out, near the house for the foundation, versus over here. So I think just to show you guys, let me just grab a little stick here, and I'm gonna come in here. Dang, cats are over here again, burying my poor wild strawberry. This thing has been buried like 15 times already by cats. I'm trying to keep it alive, but it's very difficult. I gotta put something around here, like some prickly bushes. But anyway, let's go in here, and I just want to show you guys the soil underneath here as a kind of difference. You can just see, I mean, it's a huge difference already. Like, you can still see that it's still sandy, so it's certainly not like black heavy topsoil, but you can see the difference. You can see already, just after a few months of having this mulch on top of it, look at the difference between this versus what you were just seeing a moment ago. So it's really, really different. And if you just dig into this a little bit, you'll see that there are worms all over the place and lots of like helpful little critters moving around in there. So I'm going to just move that back. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. And I think, again, if anybody really doesn't believe me, try this out for yourself. Again, I said I'm no expert, but it's been my experience from our other garden. The soil quality there was a lot better than here, but you definitely had a better soil quality underneath the mulch almost instantaneously. Even just by like midsummer, it was already a huge difference between what you saw there and out just in the grass, like in the lawn area. So yeah, subscribe if you want to see videos in the future. I will definitely keep gardening here and show you guys how things are progressing. You can see the marigolds are doing really nice. There's lots of beautiful flowers everywhere. It's really fun. I'm going to be planting more flowers later, and next year I hope to have a lot more herbs and other kinds of useful, just plants and more variety. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and thanks for everybody's support, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.